What's going on, good people? You know what time it is. You either get right or you get left. Go ahead and get right. You know how we gonna do it. Hey, let's go ahead and get this pop-up show started. We got a few things that we're gonna talk about today. We're still gonna have the regular show tomorrow, but this is just a quick pop-up. Man, y'all tap in. Let's get to it.
Okay, y'all, this is it.
Ain't no need to debate. You know what time it is. As we say, you either get right or you get left. I got to bring Coach Cam in here. StreamYard is StreamYard, and as you can see, I had to pop out and pop in and pop out. How are you feeling about this today? You got Tommy Reese as the new offensive coordinator, and you know what's funny about this whole thing? I called this. I told you this was gonna happen. You bring in Stefanski, you're not gonna look at a Mike McDaniel. You're not gonna look at a you're not going to look at any of Brian McClendon. You're not going to look at all these other coaches. You bring him here, he was going to bring Tommy Reese here, who's lost multiple jobs in back-to-back seasons and been relieved throughout the season as the OC. How do you feel about this, bro? I'm going to pop out and pop back in, so I want folks to see my face because this screen is killing me today. What's up?
I'm waiting for you to get back.
Yeah.
Come on. Come back on in here, brother, because we got a lot to talk about. Let's see what y'all talking about here. I don't know what to think about this hire. Honestly, you're not the only one. You're not the only one who doesn't know what to think about this hire. To be honest, as y'all can see, I'm at stage 7 of the grief ladder. I'm at acceptance. I'm understanding and totally in awe of the ineptitude of this franchise. I understand that it's been decades, but this is a new low even for us. This is a new low. So to hire a coach who, I mean, yes, he's a 2-time Coach of the Year winner. Congratulations. It's not an easy award to win. I'll give him that. But this is a what have you done for me lately type of league. And what he's done lately, he's gone 8-26 in the last 2 seasons. The only good thing about bringing Stefanski here was getting Bill Callahan. And as much as I liked our previous offensive line coach, we saw a lot of problems. And I feel Bill will fix a lot of that. But for everyone who knows, I've been begging to get Matt Tyson here to be our offensive line coach. I've been begging for this for at least 2 years. And so to get a bona fide offensive line coach that's going to assist with pass pro as well as run protection, you can't ask for anything more. That's a godsend in a world full of questionable decisions as of right now. So, but to bring on Tommy Reese, who who we all know has not been the best offensive coordinator anywhere he's gone. It's mind blowing because again, there you had opportunities to go get a Mike McDaniel or somebody else, or even the OC in New England. I always forget his name, but he would have been perfect here. I feel like this whole situation with hiring Matt to all of this is rushed. It's like no one is taking their time to actually do their homework. This feels like a me type of thing. And again, for the life of me, I don't understand why. But again, this franchise is inconsistent. Consistent. Like it's so weird how consistently inconsistent this team is. The from the front office to the players to the coaches, it's like we're marred in low IQ people.
Hold up. Hey, turn your light on so I can make sure I can see you.
Oh, my light on.
Not you. I'm talking about old boy behind the stage. We got the Jack Leg Preacher here. We got Pink Slip Will here. I figured it wouldn't take long to get Will up in here. I knew Will was coming.
Hey man. Let me get one paycheck, man. Come on, Will. Let me get one paycheck out you.
I got you, man. You gonna get it whenever you want it, man.
No, man. I never would have put Jack Leg Preacher if I knew you were coming. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no.
Hey, John. So before I go ahead and let y'all tap in with this, because I got my man Dre that's coming over here now. Andre, he's a Giants fan, so he had the experience of Tommy Reese being his offensive coordinator. He already had that experience. So and we got a lot of Bama fans, even with this fan base for the Falcons, a lot of them are pissed right now. You can look on social media, you can hear it, because one of my old shipmates or whatnot is a Bama fan, but he's an Atlanta Falcons fan. And he said, I thought I was rid of this sorry so-and-so when Alabama got rid of him. And I looked at him, I said, you just see who they hired. They hired Stefanski. And everybody's like, oh, well, why don't y'all give this a chance? I called this last week when you was on here, remember? Before I had to shut it down. I said, Tommy Reese is going to probably end up being the OC, but they need to do their due diligence. Should have went after Mike McDaniel, or you should have went after, hell, even Brian McClendon, Atlanta's own dog, been a former Georgia Bulldog, been an OC in the league for a little bit, and definitely has a pretty solid track record. But you go down the route with a guy that's been relieved of his duties back to back. But I got to bring my guy Dreyer, the newbie. We got my man Andre, the host of Let Them Know What Your Show Is, my boy.
Oh yeah, the check down, man. We do college football and NFL, but not really. I just wanted to come in and chop it up with you about this Stefanski hire and this Tommy Reese hire. I know Tommy Reese a little bit.
Yeah.
From his year at Bama. So I was just curious, like, what's your thoughts on that? Because I know you thought y'all would go in a different direction, kind of going against what you wanted.
But you know what? At the end of the day, it's logo business for me. And as I've told people, we can't do anything about it. You get what I'm saying? When you talk about who they hire, they already have in mind which direction they're going to go. You just got to hope that it hits unless you're working inside that building. Now, we know this about Stefanski. Yes, 2 times coach of the year. But the problem is there's still a lot of inconsistency. Everyone's like, well, he had this issue at Cleveland with management. Okay, that's part of your job. You're not going to always get along with your boss. So at this point, you have to be honest about what's going down. Now, I said the worst possible thing could happen. I said, we will know which direction this team is going when they get the OC. You get Bill Callahan, which was a great hire for the offensive line, one of the best to ever do it. But you end up bringing this dude in, and it's one of these things where you sit back and just say, all right, Now you're letting people know which direction you're going with a coach that has been relieved of his duties 2 times in a row at 2 different places. And that's not a good sign when you're talking about consistency. But here's the other thing I'm gonna throw out, Dre, and I'm gonna let you guys tap in. Could it possibly be Stefanski and Bill Callahan are gonna be the ones calling plays and they're gonna be schooling Tommy Reese on how to do it? Starting off, could it be that? Because we're not in these meeting rooms. He might be able to put together game plans, but you might have the 2 veteran OCs or whatnot schooling this guy on how to call plays. That's the other direction I'm gonna go, but I'm not gonna get too crazy because I gotta have some stuff to talk about tomorrow. But this is a quick pop up. What do you think, Dre?
I think y'all probably let Stefanski. I mean, I think Stefanski probably called the plays himself. He called the plays for the most part in Cleveland, right? And Tommy Reese was there with him. That's why I
Hmm.
assumed he would bring him with him to Atlanta. But I think I don't know, man. Y'all in a weird situation right now. Like, yeah. We just did our show and I was thinking about it because I just read a report about y'all that there's people around the league that think it's a joke that you hired Matt Ryan to be president of football operations
Hmm.
and that things wouldn't work. Um, and if they did work, that it was just by chance, that it wasn't because you guys are going among the right process. And then that made me question, what is the role of a GM for you guys going forward?
Hmm. And that's the whole thing. And that's the whole thing I'm looking at. And I told everybody, I said my choice would be Ian Cunningham, but for some reason, I got a feeling they're going to probably go in the opposite direction to go get that guy from San Francisco. To be honest, that's what I see them doing. So,
But
John,
is he gonna have the power like a GM usually would, or is it gonna be more so of a different type of role?
honestly, the last GM we had really didn't have too much power, and we had this same situation to play out last year when we hired our GM. When we hired our GM after we hired our head coach and Raheem Morris. But I want to ask John this because I know John's been down there waiting. So, John, now that we've gotten the OC at this point, they're pretty much getting ready to hire the GM, and they're pretty much going to put some things out that's probably going to show you that this right here just might not be a good situation. How do you feel?
When the news came across that they had hired an OC, I was in the Waffle House trying to order liquor, and that's normally not what you had to bring it with you. I was trying to order a damn drink in the Waffle House to go along with my scrambled eggs and ham that I was eating, and because man, I'm
I feel
trying.
you, John. I feel you. I feel you.
I,
I
I'm
understand.
I'm trying to be like you, Ryan. Make it logo business. Trust in what it is that they are building, supporting them with what it is that they do. And I'm trying. I'm really trying. I'm really trying. But every time I walk by my room with the podium in it,
Mm.
the podium started talking to me. Don't you have some business you need to take care of? That's what the podium say all the time. I said, hold up, man. I said, hold up. I'm gonna give it a couple of days. I'm gonna see what it is that they do. Hopefully they'll improve. Now, I'm getting ready to go home now. I know my damn rostrum is gonna be hollering at me, and I can hear it in the garage. He's all you need to do is stand behind here, set the camera up, and we can go. No, 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 because I got a show I got to do tonight. We're gonna discuss it. We're gonna talk about it. But I mean, the very things that we have been complaining about for the past two regimes are happening again
Again.
with a new president of football operations. You hiring offensive coordinators before you even hire a general manager, Lord.
John, you was about to take the words I was about to say. How you hired the
Right,
damn head coach before you
John.
hired
Then
GM?
we set this Thursday. We set this Thursday night, right? We set this Thursday night. This is the same situation with Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith.
Yep.
When Arthur Smith was hired first, then we brought in Terry. We're doing it again. History is repeating itself again. Like I and again, I love this team wholeheartedly. But we have got to be some of the most idiotic people on the planet. To the definition of
Insanity.
insanity is doing the same thing over again, expecting a different outcome.
Hmm.
We have to be some of the most insane fans on the planet because this is the routine year in and year out. They bring us hope. They give us just enough to snatch it away and laugh at us as they do it.
You know,
And again,
I'll say this
I
because
thought I thought I was in a State Farm commercial.
hold
You
up.
didn't jump high enough. You didn't.
So
You almost got it.
I gotta say this. So we got DWoo 24K. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Appreciate you. Or sister. Appreciate you for tapping in. He or she just mentioned Matt Ryan has been mentored by Ryan Pace from the Bears through the entire process, and he's soaking up the knowledge from all the teams he visited around the league and how to build a team. But here's the issue though. When you talk about building a team, you have to first off, all right, he's president of football operations. They brought him in. All right, my bad, brother. I'm sorry. I had to make sure I didn't know. That's why I said I didn't want to offend nobody because I've done that before. So appreciate you for clarifying that. But when you look at Matt Ryan in a sense, okay, he understands the X's and O's of the football world because he did it for over a sane amount of time, a 14-year career as a starter. Period. Now, in the front office, he's pretty much like an infant at this point. That's the best way. And if you're going to sit back and talk about Matt Ryan in this sense, you have to question what he's doing when it comes to you're bringing this head coach in first. You're bringing the OC. You still haven't even made a general manager. They probably already have who they want, but they still might be in the playoffs. We don't know. Again, or if they're not in the playoffs right now, they're waiting to say something. But again, we're doing the same thing like John said. You're hiring coaches before you hire your GM. So in other words, you're letting the GM know that any GM that comes to Atlanta, you're going to be secondary to the head coach, and whatever they screw up, you're going to be in a situation to where you're tied to them, and you're going to be somewhat powerless, and you're not going to be able to bring in your own groceries. You're going to have to cook what's in the refrigerator already. You
not
got
even
leftovers
secondary,
in
bro. Not even secondary. He's third because you got the president of football operations in Matt Ryan. So it's coach Matt Ryan, then the GM.
And at this point, I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's say this here. A lot of people, how can I put it? A lot of people right now are in their feelings about a lot of stuff. It's just what it is, naturally. And if you pay attention to football operations, it's questionable at this point. You can question it because you're seeing habitual patterns. You're seeing habitual patterns. And with this franchise, and I'm gonna dig into my vocabulary for you. The Atlanta Falcons are a little bit of a recidivist. We're a recidivist organization. And when you talk about it, we had the same song and dance. You got fans that want to sit here and say that people are negative because they say the truth. And oh well, we're not gonna listen to you. You're this here. Like, look, we got the sunshine pumpers over here. We got the miserable fans that want to fire everybody over here, and you got the realistic fans over here in the cut. It's
Hey,
just
William
what it
Henry
is.
has his own section. William has his own section.
William got his own section. He fired everybody.
Own
Bill
section.
got his
No,
own section.
no, no, I ain't. The only thing I did. Nah, y'all boys good, but for me personally, I didn't like the hire. I feel like they should have waited until the time because I wanted Kubiak from
So
Seattle. That's who I wanted. But I heard some people say they ain't buying the bottom ticket this year. Like they already some people already saying like
People
people from
saying they
Savannah.
not gonna buy tickets. Well, they gonna buy them tickets.
No,
So
Well,
I don't know. Go ahead.
well. Now, see, okay, you've identified three sectors of the fan base. There might be some subsectors and some subsectors or whatever, and some professional uniform wearers. But you identified three major sections of the fan base.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody has always accused me of being negative and not wanting to do this and not going along with the program. And when they put 5 pounds of sugar in 1 quart Kool-Aid, they want me to drink that crap. Look now, that's
John,
just too much.
here's a prime example of that right here. That same pattern got the team to a Super Bowl, but that wasn't an arguing point until he left, and we can't find wins. No,
Okay, let him. Okay,
no. I'm gonna throw this out here because now this is what was said by
Wait,
D. So here's the thing: the reason why we ended up getting to the Super Bowl was due to the fact that you had Rich Pioli in the front office that understood what he was doing. You, as much as I'm not a Dimitrov fan, you had him in that office too. They came from a winning organization. They understood what it took to build a team. Because if you look at it, the most successful times that we had during Matt Ryan's stay was under the Dimitrov regime. No matter how you look at it, a lot of us were upset at Dimitrov for locking up contracts and screwing that up. But look at the time from Matt Ryan's time in 2008 all the way up until he left. All I'm saying is you have to call a spade a spade. We're bringing people in here that don't have any credibility of winning. Not just
and,
winning, being
and
with teams that actually understand how to win. What's up, John?
and then on top of that, and to talk to everybody that has that particular viewpoint. Matt Ryan did not build the team that he was on when he was quarterback. He did not have any experience doing that. He was part of the building. Someone had to acquire him. Somebody had to say that, hey, I want this quarterback from Boston College because he looks like he can do something. Okay. I was one of the most vocal Matt Ryan critics because of the things that he couldn't do, that eventually he was forced to do because you had an offensive coordinator come here and finally get him up out of the bed that they had made for him, put their foot in between his hip pockets, and say,
Mhm.
look, you can be
Man,
better
I
than
can't hear
what
y'all,
you
boy.
are. Yeah, that's what they did. You can be better than what you are. Okay. They put some pieces around him, and even though they put those pieces around him, they didn't know at the beginning of 2016, they didn't know they were going to the Super Bowl. This
Thanks.
thing was just like a snowball. It rolled, it took off, it gained legs, it got some traction. Bam, you in the Super Bowl. All right. But the thing is that there are tried and true methods that have been enacted from years by winning franchises and winning organizations that are a blueprint for you to follow in order for you to get to a championship. Okay. Now, okay. And then once those teams get those championships, sometimes they may fade
Um,
and then they can come back. You
hey
know,
John, look at
man,
what
wait,
look at what my
I
man
see
said.
it. I see
Hey, you can't speak on Waffle House until you try it, man. How you look? I love my fellow Falcon fans, but boy, if you
but here, hold on,
wow,
Ryan. Hold on. Here's the thing.
Come on, D Woo. Come on, D. Are you in Georgia? Are you in Georgia?
oh shoot,
Oh, he adding some humor. Okay, that was funny. Oh, that was a hoot. That was a real hoot.
yeah, that definitely was. But I
But
mean, let's be honest, fellas. Looking at this whole thing, we looking at this whole thing. You're seeing we have a defense, and now we're bringing in let's be honest, a great offensive line coach. He's had Hall of Famers under him. He's had some of the best offensive lines that are known to man. One of the guys that was on this show, Mr. Lincoln Kennedy, Birdcage alumni, played for him when he was with the Raiders.
mhm.
So again, he was helping bring some stuff to the light. But now you're bringing in another offensive coordinator that couldn't coach himself out of a wet paper bag, even if you gave him a straight razor that's been sharpened to Sunday morning from Saturday. And now this is what I mean when I sit back and I just say it, man. It's one of these things that I hate it for whoever the GM is coming in, because guess what? If you're going to take this job in Atlanta, I'm just going to be honest with you. You pretty much have no leverage, no power at this point.
You're just a face at this point.
You running off. You running off qualified candidates.
I'm gonna tell you
what running them off.
I'm gonna tell you this here. See, do y'all remember the episode of In Living Color when David Allen Greer pretended to be, and out of all people, Clarence Thomas, when he got into the Supreme Court and he said, "Hey, I don't get thrown off this bench, right? I'm in here for life, right?" And they said, "Yeah." "Oh, I'm up in here. F this, that. If I'm a general manager and they let my butt in the door, I'm gonna play nice. As soon as I get my feet and my claws into this here, Tommy Reese, your ass got to go. And you're gonna hire a new offensive. Oh, John, I literally would be one of the ones that Mr. Blank would have to fire me. And my thing is, Arthur ain't firing nobody when they come through the door.
Yeah.
So you already know that you can't let a joker like me get in the door like that, because in that sense, you got an incompetent OC. And if the head coach is mad about it, guess what? I need you to go ahead and figure out what else you're going to do. If you decide to leave, okay. Goodbye.
But what I'm thinking.
I'm just joking when I say that about the coach leaving now. We can't afford that to happen. But still, it's crazy.
But what I'm thinking,
we got him for 5 years, John.
Yeah. Y'all locked him down like he was the best thing out there. Now, see, this is the thing. I'm more thinking that Stefanski is going to call his own offense, and that this man is just going to be. I mean, the logic in me is telling me that since Stefanski is an offensive coordinator and he has his own offense or whatever, he's going to call the offense, okay? And that this man is just going to be there as an offensive coordinator in name only. He's not going to be the final word or give the quarterback their final instructions or whatever. And that's the best case scenario that I can come up with. Best case scenario, because of what I know about the man that they just hired and everything. That would be the best case scenario. My problem is that not having a general manager and giving whoever it is that finally decides to accept the job a pat hand like this, you're turning away quality people, because quality people, if they're going to stay there, if they're going to be successful, if they can put their name on it, they want to be the ones that actually build it. They want to be the ones that actually build it. And if you want to take the accolades, you're going to have to take the smoke too. And a person who has something built for them when they come in the door and tell them, well, this belongs to you, make it work, do it this way, do it that way. And then the smoke comes. No, man, I don't want to take that smoke. And the first thing they'll be able to say is that I didn't do this.
And I agree with Razzle Boy 216. Appreciate you tapping in, my brother. Hey, I said this last Thursday that 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you that Kubiak might have turned this job down because of the fact that he was going to be hamstringed. I guarantee you that. And he's not a yes man. That's something that we all know at this point. That's something that we all know. Well, long time no see, man. You gonna stay for a little bit, or you gonna say something and you just gonna run like you always do?
Well,
I'm mad with you right now. I'm mad with you right now. Look, you my dog and all that, but I'm hot with you right now because you left me high and dry last time you was on here, And I'm upset with you about that.
I know, dog.
Yeah. I don't need you leaving now. I need you to stay for a little bit. I'm just messing with you. What's up, man?
Hey, Ron, I'm going to call you just as soon as we get off here.
All right.
Okay.
My opinion is everybody looking at our head coach or what he done with Cleveland. Let's be honest. It's Cleveland. It's Cleveland Browns. From top to bottom, they trash. Don't look at him because what he done at Cleveland. Look at overall his coaching career. When he was with Minnesota, look at that.
We never hold up. We never said that, and this is coming from me. We never said that Stefanski is a buddy of Matt Ryan's. No,
what?
We're speaking on Tommy Reese being a friend of his, being brought in here. That's what we're speaking on. But I got you though.
Nah, the whole Tommy Reese, maybe he learned something. Maybe he don't call the same plays he did in Cleveland. He got better weapons here in Atlanta. He got a good running game. He will have a better offensive line here. That's what I'm thinking about. The offensive line we brought in is the offensive line coach that we brought in is a legit Hall of Famer. Offensive line coach.
What up, Uncle Louie? We're talking about that right now. The man has been relieved in the two positions that he's had back-to-back seasons. Cleveland, Alabama, and everywhere that he's been where he's been an offensive leader, he's been relieved of his duties. So right. I'll let you figure that one out.
Yeah. He might do something different here. That's all I gotta say. I mean, do I like the picture, the hire? No. But I ain't like on Radio Raheem either.
But here's the thing though. You truly never gave him a chance from day one. I at least let him get through the first year. You started from the day he was hired.
Because this why. I knew Radio Raheem was.
So what's the difference between him and Stefanski at this point?
Okay, I finna get that, my boy. I finna get that. I know Radio Raheem was that bootleg car salesman on the corner that said that Pinto. And you know, time you crank up that Pinto and you driving off the car lot, the shit will break down. Excuse my French. It will break down. I knew that from the jump. I knew he would send me a Pinto.
Thank you. Yep. I'm with you on this because I said this last week. Everybody wanted to try to say Cleveland was trash. But guess what? Cleveland had a ton of talent offensively.
They did.
They had a defensive player.
So
again, I've been saying this. So if you're going to sit back and you want to argue this, I want y'all to go through the roster from 6 years of him being there. All those years of them being that bad, they've had a ton of first-round picks. Hell, I'll give you some of them. You had Grant Delpit. You got Myles Garrett. You had Jerry Jeudy that was there. You had Amari Cooper that was there. You've had Nick Chubb before he busted his knee was there. You pretty much had Kareem Hunt, David Njoku, and then you have Harold Fanning who was there this year. So again, and they had one of the top O-lines in the league at that time for pass protection and run blocking. So again, are we going to sit back and keep excusing this? Okay, 2-time coach of the year. Okay, that's great. But what did he do with the other 4 years that he was there with that talent? And he was in one of the toughest divisions and couldn't get it right. That's no excuse because he had teams that were less talented than them and they still ended up losing. Prime example. What's up?
Ryan, we already said it started in the front office, right?
Yep.
Okay, if your front office not on the same page with your head coach, it's gonna trickle down to everybody else. Yes or no?
Yep.
That's my point.
So here's my question I got for you. Now you're saying that, or we're talking about everything that trickles down from the front office or whatnot. Let's be real. Baltimore had a year where Lamar Jackson was hurt. They didn't do anything with that. Pittsburgh has been playing musical chairs with quarterbacks and have not had a losing season in 19 years. After Big Ben left, they still were consistently going to the playoffs with musical chairs at quarterback.
That's true.
And then we already said the Ravens, the Steelers, and then you got the Browns. Who's the other team that's in the AFC North that we're missing? Cincinnati. Guess what they did? They went to a Super Bowl. Coming to the stage now, we have Miss Carrie. What's going on, Carrie?
What's going on, y'all? How you doing?
What's up, Miss Carrie?
Hey, Ron. How are you?
All right.
What's going on, everybody?
Man, I'm just sitting here. I'm just sitting here and laughing right now because practically everything I said, Carrie, has come true.
Out. Ryan, are you still there?
Oh, there you
are. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
You froze for a second.
Yeah. So
I'm laughing. We couldn't hear or see you.
So here's the thing. I'm laughing right now because
can you all hear Ryan?
Yeah, I hear him.
Yes.
You got to pop. Okay. John, pop out and pop in.
It must be StreamYard or this iPhone. I'm going out and coming back in.
Okay.
So here's the thing, Carrie. I'm laughing because at this point, I'm just chuckling at this point because I've been saying this for the longest about this team. I said we can't repeat the same thing. We're doing it. And everybody's like, oh, well, I got to give him a chance. Here's the thing. No matter how much lipstick you put on a pig, it's still a pig. And at the end of the day, you can slice it up, you can roast it, you can do whatever, but that's still food that's going to be prepared on the table at this point. Even if you try to make it sexy, it just don't work.
Right.
Now, you're bringing in an offensive coordinator that is horrible.
Oh, I hate I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not a fan of the Tommy Reese hire at all. I'm not going to lie to you. Oh, man. The only thing I can think of, Ryan, I wanted to say is that I feel like, because it seemed as if they were looking into other options at the OC position, but they went ahead and went with Tommy Reese. And my theory on it is that Kevin Stefanski is bringing back, his boy from Cleveland to kind of prove to Cleveland and, maybe whoever, the national media, that it wasn't him that's the problem, it's Cleveland. Because he didn't do well, Tommy Reese calling plays. So it's like, well, why are you picking this dude? Because he's your friend, or it's because you want to prove Cleveland wrong, that Cleveland's a problem and not you? And man, I hope he's right because it's not looking good for me, Tommy Reese. I mean.
Oh, so we the test bed. We the proof.
But Carrie, that's not the only thing.
Yeah.
Carrie, that's not the only thing. I got to put this out here for you. When we sit back and we talk about it, here's the other problem that we got right now. The other issue that we have right now at this point is you're bringing in a guy that has a track record of being fired at this point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're doing it. And at this point, all you can do is just laugh. And I've told many people that this dude here, it's just funny to me. You've had the pick of the litter. You could have went after Clint Kubiak, and there was like, well, that's a first-time coach. I'm like, look, at this point, we just had a head coach that pretty much came from a situation that was horrible as a head coach, and he was a good defensive assistant. Just what it was. Then Arthur Smith was the wrong pick from the start. We all said that because of the fact that Derrick Henry got him this job, and you see how incompetent that was. Now, here's the one thing that most people don't understand. You're getting ready to possibly get a Dylan Gabriel to come here. Understand that. You might get a Dylan Gabriel to come to this team. And Cleveland just drafted him. They want to clear that quarterback room. That's what's going to happen. And at this point, I don't want nothing to do with that midget. Yeah, I said it. And my boy Grimm is an Oregon fan. I don't have a problem with Oregon football players, but Dylan Gabriel, no, sir. Not here. No, no, no. If we're going to look, we already have Kyle Trask in the backup role already. And that's a guy that didn't even get a fair shake in Tampa. And as much as I hate the Florida Gators, that dude right there is a monster at quarterback if you give him a chance.
It's so funny you say that because I said that on one of the shows I was on the other night. Because they're like talking about, oh, well, we can, what are we going to do at quarterback? We're going to let the third string guy, play. We let him play in preseason. I said, at that point, I'd rather see Kyle Trask.
Yep.
We haven't seen much of him if you're going to go that route.
And here's the thing. Well, Kerry, you might get your wish. If Kyle Pitts gets Kyle Trask, that's gonna be his favorite target. That's gonna be his favorite target. Because I'm telling you right now, I've already said it. The best tight end that was drafted was Harold Fannin last year that went to Cleveland. Period.
I have to ask you, and I apologize that, with all the content creators putting out content, I'm behind on catching up on everyone's content. So you might have covered this already, but I wanted to ask you, do you think now that we, officially have our head coach, Kevin Stefanski, he does like to run with the 12 personnel, you think there's a good chance Kyle Pitts might stay? He might get tagged and stay because of that?
I'm going to be honest with you. It honestly depends on what now the head coach wants because, again, you have to remember he might not want some of these pieces that was here before from the last two regimes.
Right.
And that's the whole thing. A lot of fans want to say, well, Kyle Pitts is staying. His thing, he's only had 2 good years.
Right. And I don't want to
hear the BS about the quarterback situation because Brock Bowers did it with 3 different quarterbacks in Las Vegas with the Raiders.
Right.
And was one of the top players and set all those records. I don't want to hear that mess. I already know we have people that are, like you say, you got people that love certain players and they fall in love with it. But when you bring in a new coach and a new regime, all players aren't staying.
Right. No, I agree.
They want to bring in their own stuff.
I agree with you. I was just curious because I feel like there's a better chance, or we'd have to maybe sign somebody because the whole 12 personnel thing he likes to run.
And here's my thing when we talk about it. Now, a lot of people are saying he's racist, and this is a topic that's been coming up. I'm gonna tell you just like this. I don't know what it's like for him to work with his coworkers, but he was one of the ones that was front and center when George Floyd got murdered in Minneapolis. He was front and center.
I did see that.
Here's my thing. And he was actually speaking up when that mess happened.
When others stayed silent.
Should do it. No, but here's the thing. Yeah, he never stayed silent. So the thing is, with Shedeur Sanders or whatnot, a lot of people in their feelings or whatever because they feel as if Shedeur got the bad end of the stick. But guess what? Shedeur ain't the first quarterback to get it. No, it's an article that's out, right? It's an article that's out, and you can look up a lot of stuff. I know you're saying, but he was one of the ones that was supporting the George Floyd family when he was the OC down in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. He was one that was very outspoken. Go look at some of the interviews.
I saw that yesterday, actually. Somebody sent me that.
That's like a lot of people don't even know. Again, they want to just go off of what happened with Shedeur. But my thing is this. There are many black quarterbacks that got holes. Shedeur ain't the first one. He at least got to play. If we're going to talk about it, let's talk about Pernell Dickerson, who got screwed. Let's talk about the fact that Jefferson Street Joe Gilliam got screwed by the Pittsburgh Steelers, where he led them to a Super Bowl. And Terry Bradshaw, stumbling, fumbling ass, ended up getting a chance to be there. And I know this firsthand because my cousin, Larry Brown, was a starting tight end for those Steelers and got 4 rings with him. He was a backup tight end that was right behind Benny Cunningham. So y'all can look him up if you don't believe me. It was a lot of stuff that went on. Doug Williams got hosed. Warren Moon got hosed. He had to go to Canada. So I don't want to hear that BS about black quarterbacks because I speak on black quarterbacks all the time. I love Shedeur, but he ain't the first and he damn sure ain't going to be the last that gets hosed. I think he needs to have an opportunity to prove himself. I agree with that. But again, there are many black quarterbacks. He at least is still in the building. So again, at this point, he's got a black quarterback here in Atlanta. And Arthur Blank has already said that he thinks that Michael Penix Jr. is going to be the future. He didn't say he said he was going to be. He said he thinks he's going to be the future. And I think he's saying that because of the knee injury. But other than that, y'all can put that to bed because he's going to have to work with Penix at this point when he gets back. His cousin is gone after this year. So again, we will see if he's one of those bigots. You're going to see it because it's only going to be so much you can hide. But I can only go off of what he's done. Now I know it's going to be some people mad about it, but you know what? It is what it is. He didn't handle the situation with Shedeur correctly, but that was more so him and management going back and forth. Just to be honest, and Shedeur spoke up for him, by the way, if you didn't see it on social media.
I did see that interview too.
Shedeur actually spoke up for him. So if y'all don't believe it, go look it up. It's on Twitter.
But why doesn't it's kind of weird to me how you don't really see that going viral. I had to kind of dig for these, things.
Because it's an agenda that people want to put out.
Okay.
And my thing is, and here's the thing, I'm one of the biggest supporters of civil rights, history, and things of that sort. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But again, people forget that he flew out to Houston to go meet with Deshaun Watson. He ain't too racist if he wanted a black quarterback in Deshaun Watson at the time that was going through what he was going through.
Aren't the Cleveland Browns the first franchise to have an all-black quarterback room too?
Yep.
That's another thing.
But the first franchise to really have the most starting black quarterbacks is right in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yeah.
But go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Hey, man.
It's just the fact that it's like, look, we run with narratives, but again, we got people that love Shedeur because of his dad. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
And we got to keep the football. Don't take any personal. It's not personal. Because I love Prime. Period. I love Prime as well. I grew up during that era. Broke my heart to watch him and Dominique Wilkins leave the city of Atlanta at the same time.
Yeah.
So please.
Well, when I heard the situation about Shedeur Sanders, it wasn't just Cleveland that I was, feeling some type of way about it. It was the other 31 teams that were able to draft him that they didn't draft him. Okay. And it wasn't a thing where, I knew the ins and outs and knew exactly what was going on as far as the decision to not get him or whatever. And a lot of times you have to, instead of being hot take Harris and putting out something, you have to wait. That's why a lot of times when news breaks, things of that sort, I sometimes will put the news out just as news. Hey, this happened. Well, what do you think about it? I don't know yet because I don't have the alpha to the omega as far as what the circumstances were, why this happened, the motivations behind it, things of that sort. If you just put out the news, you do with it as you might, judge it as you might. That's basically what I try to do. But, like you say, people have narratives and things that go on. And it's the same thing as far as the Matt Ryan hire for president of football operations. I have my own opinions about that because I came from a management structure in a business. I came from a management structure. And those of you who have dealt with a management structure, this doesn't seem right to you because it goes against everything that you were taught about elevation to various positions or whatever. Now, the crazy part about this, if I saw something like this at the post office, very first thing I would have said, somebody was sleeping with somebody. That's how they got this job.
He said
because I'm just saying now. I'm just saying.
Hey man, look, you retired, man. You can't be talking about the post office like that.
Oh, why the heck I can't? Because I'm just telling you. Look, man. Look, I've seen it so many times. I've seen it so many times. And then they will try to get you who applied for the job and were qualified for the job to train this person that you knew how they got their promotion. Yeah, it was a horizontal promotion. Everybody was in a horizontal position when that promotion took place. Okay, you know, and it is that's what it smacks of. That's what it smacks of because people getting promoted that fast are getting thrown into positions of authority, positions of responsibility, positions where they, as this old country comedian said, they got promoted beyond their intelligence. Okay,
Mhm.
you know, you don't belong there. So the only thing you're going to do is what the person that promoted you is going to tell you to do. You'll never get a chance to use any of the non-existent skills that you're supposed to have as a prerequisite for the job in doing the job. You'll never get to use those, you know. And if the manager changes and you're out there by yourself, you're just holding a position because 9 times out of 10 the next person that's there and you're left there because your mentor, the person that hired you, is gone. You out there in the middle of the ocean without a paddle.
Mhm.
I didn't even say nothing about having a boat because now you got to try to rely on those skills you were promoted for
Mm-hmm.
to do your job. And if that person can't work around you, they will remove you because you're a drag on the ticket. Seen it so many times. Seen it so many times. So at
But,
you know at this juncture,
mhm.
I'm just holding on. I'm just holding on. Just trying to see. And Ron and Ryan and Miss Lady, I'm being way nicer this time than I usually am to
John,
give
you a
people
lie.
an opportunity. What say, Ryan? You breaking up, Ryan? I don't know what it was you were saying.
John,
He
you a
said,
John, you a lie. That's what I
look,
said. You a
he,
lie.
wait a minute. Where's the
You
two
a
by
lie.
four at,
No,
John?
he's sitting here.
I'm
Look,
being
listen.
look,
This is why
man.
we listen. This is
I'm
why we call.
being
This is why I
nice.
started calling John the Jack Led preacher 4 years ago when I met him. This is why he
I'm
lying.
being I'm being nice. I'm being nice because there's so much more I could say about this.
That's fair.
Lord,
There's so much more I could say about this.
Lord Jesus, John, you ain't got to sit here. You ain't got to sit here and try to pacify that because we know tonight when the eye test come on tonight, y'all check that out. 10 o'clock tonight. They coming on late tonight. This is when it's his channel. I know you, John. I know you literally being nice because you in here. But see, I know the real you.
Me too.
Now, man, now wait a minute. Now I got to wipe my feet off on the mat
No, no,
before I
no. I
come in the
respect. No,
house.
I respect it because I got the Kool-Aid in the refrigerator. I told you, just make sure that you throw the disposable cup in the garbage can. Just don't leave the Kool-Aid on the coaster. That's all I'm asking. Don't leave a cup of your empty Kool-Aid on the coaster. Because you know what?
Yeah,
A lot of folks drinking Kool-Aid today. So guess what? That's the drink of the day right now. Kool-Aid.
hey,
What,
man,
what y'all want? Hey,
I'm
what
just
kind y'all want? Y'all want grape or red? You and Ron. Grape or red?
Red,
I like red.
red.
All right.
Please.
Well, you know what? The red matched the Falcons, so we might as well get this red Kool-Aid going for everybody.
Hey, man, I'm visiting. Whatever Kool-Aid you got, I'm gonna drink no, I can't drink Kool-Aid. I can't drink Kool-Aid.
John, at
I
this
can't drink Kool-Aid.
at this point, all you can do is just shake your head at this point and just laugh. That's all you can
Yeah.
do. It's just one of these things where at this point, we might as well get ready for the regular season. We getting ready. Look, if they don't produce on the football field, at least we know we're gonna get some of the best rappers to come in at halftime and perform. That's just what it's gonna be. Shout out to T.I. dropping a new single. Let them know. Because guess what? Apparently, they letting us know that they want to bring in garbage. So, I do a little something. So Fair use, fair use, fair use. Here you go, y'all.
Oh, I love it. That's the new single? I haven't heard it yet.
Let them know.
Okay.
The little snippet you heard was let them know.
But Ryan, I have to head out, but I really appreciate you sending me the invite. And sorry I couldn't stay longer, but shout out to you, John and Ron. I hope you guys have a good day. And yeah, I'm just gonna be just like John. Like I'm kind of buckled up for the ride. I got my seatbelt on, and I'm just prepared for another Falcon season. You know, I'm a diehard fan, so I'm gonna support him. But I don't know. I don't know about this OC hire, man. I don't know. So I'm just gonna wait and see. I'm not gonna get over emotional about it. That's all I
Hey,
know.
well, if they choose not to go with Kyle Pitts, just know Josh Simon just signed a contract, by the way.
I'll be all right. I'll be all right. I'm not gonna lie. It's always the logo before any
Hey,
player. So
Carrie, let the folks know where they can find you at.
you can find me on One Time for the Fan, Wednesdays, Friday mornings, and Sunday nights. I appreciate you, Ryan. Have a good day and have a good show. Bye, guys.
Appreciate you.
All right, nice to meet you.
That's
You know,
Miss
I
Carrie.
wish I could wish.
That's Miss
Wish
Carrie.
I
She
could
works
wish better.
Hey man, shout out to Marie S12 or whatnot, man. She's been active in the
Oh
chat.
man, I can't hear
No,
Ryan.
no, no.
Man.
She's good though. I'm not mad at that. See, I love the fact that she comes in and she's going back. We're going back and forth or whatnot. This is the interaction that we enjoy. This is what makes the joy of doing this or whatnot. Now she says you can't blame. You can blame the front office. It's cool. You'll see. I'll just listen to what he says. No, I get you because guess what? We literally just had a used car salesman in Raheem Morris that lied more than a rug in front of the house in the wintertime. Just gonna be honest with you on that. But you know what though? Hey, if he does lie, guess what? He'll be held, his feet will be held to the fire, just like we held Raheem to the fire. See, I'm an equal opportunist. John, Ron, and anybody else that's seen this show will tell you if someone does good, hey, I'm gonna give you credit. But you screw up or you do something bad, I'm on you like back pockets. That's pretty much what it is. I'm on your ass like back pockets. That's how I get down with it. But I'll say this. We got to see what's going to happen at this point because, again, it's just interesting because now that Josh Simon is signed and Josh Simon is a monster at tight end. He just didn't play much last year. And anybody that knows anything about the kid came out of South Carolina and was a beast. It at this point, it is what it is. What's up, GA Texas boy? What's good, Rich? King Atlanta supporter. Got a shout out to folks that's been active in the chat and everybody else that I missed in the chat. I appreciate you. Craig Air Force, Millie Mills, Reggie in the chat, Reddy Winslow. It's a lot of folks. Silk Legacy. Definitely appreciate a lot of y'all coming, man, because I've been going back and forth and we just been talking about it. But honestly, I don't know which direction we go in special teams because let's be honest, at this point, we could have somebody that's mapped out that has great accomplishments and they're going to go in the opposite direction. So there's no need to even predict that. We'll just see.
Yeah.
This one, we keep strong back. That's how I'm feeling at this point.
Right.
But so here's the question I got for y'all too. And we getting ready to wrap this up because I said I was only going to be on for an hour because we're going to be on tomorrow night. Here's the thing. When you look at what we have on this team, because we still have to get depth and we still have to get, and I've been preaching this for years, still got to get your depth. We still got to get a few other things or whatnot. We have a few weapons here offensively. Now, do you think that this guy is actually going to get it right with this offense? Because he had weapons in Cleveland, by the way, had a ton of weapons in Cleveland.
Yes.
Do you think that he's going to be able to get this offense in gear because the defense is not the problem? We just need a D tackle at this point and linebacker depth and a number 2 corner, which can be addressed in the offseason.
In my opinion, I think he will. To be honest, I think he got something to prove. Like you just said, was it him or was it Cleveland? And yes, they were not winning like that in Cleveland. So I think he's gonna bring all that experience to ATL and do what he got to do, in my opinion.
Wow. See, this is the thing. Everybody want to sit here and talk about AJ Terrell brother. AJ Terrell brother was getting cooked. I ain't trying to hear that.
He got killed
Y'all gonna sit here we go with this here. The same way that everybody want to sit back and talk about how we look. Look, there's only one corner that I would want. Jamon McCoy out of Tennessee. Versatile corner. He can play corner and he can play safety. Had the highest corner grade, and not many folks threw at him like that. Now, again, another guy that I would look at, there's a kid by the name of Brandon Chase out of South Carolina. And then, let's be honest, then you have Chris Johnson out of San Diego State. A lot of people don't know much about him. As I said before, I don't just stay when it comes to just the SEC or the Big Ten. I'm looking all the way around, because I can tell you right now, it's about 4 HBCU prospects that can start right now. But I'm not going to reveal who those are right now, because we're going to have a show for that when we do. What's up?
Now, how do y'all feel about Kobe Bryant, the corner? He made some mistakes last year, but he also learned for his mistakes. You think he'd be our number 2 corner?
I think he could be, but because if you notice when let's put it this way, the reason why he could be the number 2 starter, you saw what he did when he started to get reps, and he's like the old man River. He gets stronger as the game goes on. Now, he just needs a little bit more weight, but when it comes to his technique, when it comes to the way that he'll come up and he'll hit someone, he's very fundamentally sound. That is something that a lot of people don't pay attention to. And all I can tell you is this: he needs reps. He's a guy that can be a number 2. We might not have to draft one, but you want to have depth at this point.
Of course.
D. Alford pretty much kept his spot on the team because of how he stepped up this year. I'm keeping him at nickel until Billy Bowman gets back and gets help. Because Bowman right now still has to get back from that Achilles injury. And that's going to take him a little bit of time. But when we look at, it's a ton of players right now, all I can say is, you know, I look at Kendall Bowler right now, and I spoke on him last year coming out of FAMU. This was a guy that I said that was a problem. The one thing y'all better understand about Florida A&M, they put out good corners, good receivers, and I mean historically, and they've had some linebackers that have gone to the league and some old linemen. So again, that was a guy that I talked about. Kendall Bowler just didn't have the grades, and he went to FAMU and was a shutdown. Florida State tried to get him to come over. So that should tell you something. If Florida State tried to get him, University of Florida and Miami tried to get him, and he said, no, I'm staying here. He signed on as an undrafted free agent in Denver and has had opportunities where he's been making plays on special teams starting off, and when he's had his number called, he stepped in and made plays for Denver's defense. So at this point, I'm looking at him. I look at Marquise Bell. There's a lot of guys I called out. Hell, I called out Carson Vincent last year.
Yeah.
4th round pick for the Baltimore Ravens. I was calling it. A lot of people laughed at me when they were like, oh, he's coming out. Well, he ain't been. When you go 4 years in college and you don't give up a sack, that tells you something. Nick Saban wanted to get him. Nick Saban went to Alabama A&M and had a scholarship in hand, and he turned them down. He said, y'all didn't want me coming out of high school. Why do I need to leave now? So again, I know a lot of folks are going to shake their heads, but we can start pulling from smaller schools where you have top talent and get them as undrafted free agents and draft the things that we need. But that's a whole nother show. I'm not even going to get into that at this point. And I was on Carson Vincent from the day he stepped foot on campus. Just like I'm telling you about a new kid that his name is Takez Richardson out of Atlanta, Georgia, Mays High School, started at Alabama A&M, all 12 games as a true freshman, 6'5", 330 pounds, gave up only 1 sack this year. Kirby Smart went down there and got him, and he came home, and he's going to University of Georgia right now. That's the guy that plays multiple positions on the offensive line that pretty much the Falcons need to keep an eye on. If he does well at Georgia and he transitions, that is a guy that you go get for the future of this offensive line. So it's just what it is at this point. But I'm not going to get too crazy into that. But Final thoughts, man, because we actually gonna get into this even more tomorrow night at 8 p.m. So if y'all are enjoying what you're liking, hit that like and subscribe button and tap in with me tomorrow, me and the Magnificent Birdcage crew tomorrow, because we're gonna have a little bit more of a structured show. This was just a quick pop-up just to talk about the OC that's here. I want to ask y'all last question. What do you think is gonna take for change to happen with this franchise in the front office at this point, and what do you think is going to make them change when we talk about their ways?
We got to stop getting yes dudes, yes mans. We got a lot of yes mans in the front office. If we get people go against the grain, it will make Arthur Blank think twice, in my opinion. And we got to get people that know about football, that study the game of football, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So, but after that, I got to go, Ryan, and y'all be easy. Like and share the show, everybody. Peace.
John, what you got, man?
Well, Ron, I'm gonna tell you. I know Ron gone. I said I was gonna be nice, but
Say what you gonna say.
Ron,
Just
Ron gonna bring it out of me. Ron gonna
say
bring
what,
it out
say
of
what
me.
you gonna no. Say what you gonna
You
say.
went
Mean
and
what you
hired the
say.
biggest yes. Yeah, you went and hired the biggest yes man that this franchise has ever had as president of football, the professional instruction follower.
Yeah,
Hey, and Ryan, I can't hear you. I don't know what's. I know you fuming over there, and I know you done said something, but
I didn't say
I
anything.
can't.
I'm just saying
I
something
can't
now.
hear
I
you.
didn't say anything.
But at any rate, um, winning cures everything. Winning cures everything. If you can win, you see it every year. You see it every year. Beginning of the season, you win. You got a whole new atmosphere down there for the very next game that you have at the dome.
Mm-hmm.
You have a whole new atmosphere for the game that you play away that we're watching on television. Win. But there are tried and true methods of winning. There are tried and true methods of constructing. Construct those ways. Get that down pat before you start going off the script and doing your own thing. That's the problem. Get ABC 1, 2, 3 down pat at every level, whether it be the president, whether it be the vice president, whether it be the coach, whether it be the special teams coach, whether it be the water boy. Get ABC 1, 2, 3 down like the back of your hand. Then variate off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Just veer off of that just a little bit. Be creative, but get the basics down so that people know what your organization is about, what you are about, what your players are about.
And John, I'm gonna
That
agree with
that's
you on
that's the way
this.
I am. Cause see, we going through the same thing over there at the Atlanta Hawks. Same
I
thing over
gotta
there at the
agree with
Atlanta
you.
Hawks.
Hey,
You
John,
know,
I'm gonna
but
agree with
that's
you
some
on
that's
it.
something else. But Ryan, I can't hear you. Um, Go ahead. Well, I'm just gonna dip on out because I can't hear you, and I know you want to I know you want to shut the broadcast down and whatever. But guys, y'all tune in to me later on tonight and bring your cussing jar, bring your swearing jar, cause I'm gonna fill it up. I'm gonna fill it.
You're gonna fill up 2 jars. Appreciate you, John. Hey, but I gotta agree with John. The one thing I'm gonna say is this. I think that Atlanta really can. I'll say this. I feel Atlanta is one of the best cities in America when you talk about sports fans, because a lot of the fans are loyal. Now every fan base got the bandwagon riders. It is what it is. I've been here since '91, so I'm never change. I would like put it this way. I'll never pick another team. What I would do, I probably would stop watching the Falcons before I put on another team. But that's never going to happen because I love this game too much. Now, what I am going to say is this. When you talk about the Falcons at this point, the thing that is I'll say this, the thing with the Falcons at this point that's very, how can I put it? It's very different. We have great facilities. We got an owner that does not mind paying whatever. There's a lot of tightwad owners out there that don't want to give up no money. Then you also have a lot of entertainer and artists that are here. Yeah, Reggie, Josh Simon signed a contract, so he's here according to Torrey McElhenney. And that right there, that boy is a monster at tight end. I watched him when he was at Western Kentucky, and then he transferred to South Carolina and was a problem there. But when you look at it, Atlanta has fans that have been deprived of a winner for years. 4 years. Until we get everything in-house cleaned up, you're not going to be able to attract the big names. And the sad part about it is 9 times out of 10, a lot of the big names have interviewed here. But the thing is, a lot of people don't realize this, but there are more people that turn this job down than anything. A lot of people turn this job down. It's not the fact that we don't go after them. It's the fact that they don't want to inherit mess and deal with what they're dealing with right now. Let's just be honest. It's a history here where they're getting a lot of yes men. But we as fans, a lot of us are tired of it. But at the same time, we still keep coming back because we're loyal to this team. A lot of players see the potential in what Atlanta could be if we start winning. But you have to start bringing people in here with that type of mindset. You have to start being able to allow a coach to come in here and run the show the way he wants to run the show if he's a good coach. You have to do it. At this point, I got to give Stefanski a chance. No, I'm not a fan of this hire. Have no problem with saying it. I'm not a fan of the hire. But he's wearing this logo, I'm backing the coach. I'm backing the coach. No matter how much I dislike the hire of Tommy Reese, which I think that was a wasted position. Somebody getting ready to collect checks like on the first of the month with this dude. It is what it is. But the thing that I said earlier was this. Tommy Reese will probably be schooled by Bill Callahan and Stefanski. They're going to probably end up calling those plays and they're going to groom him. He probably game plans well. You got to remember, he might have the title of OC. Maybe he game plans well. Maybe he breaks film down. Maybe he does certain things that other coaches don't. At this point, you have to pay attention to the tea leaves at this point. You got 2 guys that are here that are offensive geniuses, supposedly. Now, Bill Callahan, he coached, and I said this earlier, he's had Hall of Famers that have played for him. Joe Thomas, a guy that should be in the Hall of Fame that we drafted, and he also interviewed with us. Shout out to Mr. Lincoln Kennedy, Birdcage alum. If y'all have never seen that interview, go ahead and check it out or whatnot. Lincoln Kennedy was one of Bill Callahan's guys out in Oakland when the Raiders were actually winning. Everywhere that he's gone, offensive lines have been great. The problem is, now that we have a great O-line coach, can we get somebody to call competent plays to get our playmakers the ball? Can we actually match what our defense has done this year? Defense balled out. Yeah, they had a couple of snafus, but can we get to the playoffs with this man? Can we get to the playoffs with talent that we have? Because he had talent in Cleveland. You have talent here. If you can't get it done here in Atlanta at this point, with what you've been blessed with, let's just be honest. You're pretty much the problem at this point. You're pretty much the problem at this point. I'm going to give you an opportunity. All I'm saying is you passed on Brian McClendon. You passed on Deuce Staley. You passed on a lot of great folks. And you brought in a Tommy Reese because you want to call the plays and you want somebody that is going to pretty much be a yes man to you because you have a system that you want to run. And again, stubbornness. You were relieved of your play duties in Cleveland for a reason, and you were forced to have somebody to call plays at that point. It's just what it is. and you hired a guy that's been relieved twice of play calling duty. So again, we'll see what happens this offseason. It is what it is. They're here now, folks. We're not going to look. It's going to be people that's still going to complain about it. But guess what? At the end of the day, this is just what we are stuck with right now. There's no need to cry. You can picket, you can protest, you can do whatever you want in front of the stadium. It's not going to change. Tommy Reese is going to be here for a while, and Kevin Stefanski is going to be here for 5 years. The only way that he's going to get fired is if he does what Raheem does in two to 3 years, or the good Lord calls him up to the upper room. That is the only way that's going to happen. And when you talk about it, it's just
the upper room with Jesus.
Hey, the upper room. That's the only way he getting up out of here. So at this point, you just got to accept it for what it is. We just got to take it for what it is. We might not like it, but hey, we still need corners. We still need linebackers at this point. It's a lot that we got to address. But hey, it is what it is. But thank you guys for tuning in today with the pop-up show. Definitely want to thank Kerry, Ron, Will, Big John, the Cricket Deacon. Y'all check him out later on tonight on the eye test. But we will be live for our regular broadcast tomorrow night at 8 p.m. This was just a quick pop-up show because of the fact that we just hired our offensive coordinator. But anyways, as we say up in here, you either get right or you get left. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. We love y'all. And hey, remember this, every day is not promised at this point. And the best thing that you can do is take every day not for granted. If you get a day above the ground, be thankful for that, because everybody didn't get to wake up this morning. Everybody's got problems. Yes, we got problems with this coach that we just brought here, but let's pray and hope that we're around to see it, because at the end of the day, the good Lord gives us strength to go to work, get this money, and put money on these tickets, these expensive tickets that we spend for these Falcons and this merchandise. So Arthur Blank, you have people that are working 2-3 jobs just to come to the games. You better start listening to your fan base at this point, because the next time a lot of people are just going to start not buying tickets because of the incompetence that you have brought to the table. And you're going to lose this fan base expeditiously, because you already have folks that are split down the middle. So God bless. We'll catch you tomorrow. Ghosts.